Hey guys, John from Jeep Budget Build. A couple weeks ago I did a first time off-roader safety course for my local Jeep club, Ocean City Jeep Club. And today I thought I would just go make a video for our YouTube channel on basic equipment that we take out on the trails. We're going to go over the minimal equipment, and then we're going to go over what I have built as my trail box over the years of the things I found we needed on top of that. At the end of this video, in the comments, I would love to hear from you guys and hear what you like to take on the trail with you also. So to get started, of course, most people always carry a high lift jack with them. Here's mine. Mine stays here at home in the garage at this point. Most everybody I go out on the trail with has a high lift jack, so I carry a bottle jack with me instead. I found the bottle jack's great to have just because it's a different way to get a vehicle up if you need to on the trails. Not everything you do with a high lift jack can get under the axle and lift from the bottom of the Jeep. The bottle jack's great for changing tires, lifting from the axle, whereas the high lift jack is great for vehicles stuck on rocks, things where you need to lift from the body or decompress the suspension on it. Second thing you need to have with you is always going to be toe straps so you can get back off an obstacle. D-rings over hooks. A lot of places won't even allow you to have hooks on your toe straps. Hooks have a tendency of snapping on them. Other thing I would like to make sure everybody knows is read the fine print when you go buy your straps. Make sure that they have a 10,000 pound working load, not a 10,000 pound braking load on them. I've learned that the hard way in the past. You want to have proper recovery points. This is just a Harbor Freight slip-in hitch recovery. It works. I got away from it because I'm worried about the welds and the fact that it's not solid through here. I just don't know how much it's really going to be good for. Freight pulling sideways on it may break it. I went back to just using a regular trailer hitch with a D-ring in it, and so everything's welded through. It's solid. If your Jeep has tow hooks on the back of it already, that's just fine. Most Jeeps come with some kind of tow hook on the front of them also. We'll get into hand tools a little bit now. This is just basic stuff everybody should carry if you're going to go off-roading. This is just my regular 200-piece Craftsman set of 1/4 inch, 3/8 inch tools or ratchets and sockets. I also carry 1/2 inch with me with a full metric set of deep and shallow. And then this is just a Tractor Supply roll-up box wrench set that I always carry with me also. You should always have a couple different sets of pliers and stuff with you, and screwdrivers. I just keep this one in here, the multi-screwdriver. It's got a couple different sizes on it. My Craftsman set also has some screwdrivers with it. Rags, so you can clean your hands up after you've had to work on something. Most places require you to have a fire extinguisher in your vehicle. And then I also like to carry a first aid kit. This is just a small, simple one. If you're really into getting far off-road, you should have a heavy-duty first aid kit with tourniquets and stuff like that in it. And then lastly, communication. You're always going to want to have either, I have two-way radios. That way we can all get on the same channel and talk to the whole crew that's out there. I will be upgrading to a CB this summer most likely on it. So this is kind of the minimal stuff you need to go out on the trail with. And now we will get into what I built as my trail box on here. So in my trail box, I like to keep a quart of automatic transmission fluid, a pint of brake fluid, quart of oil, quart of differential fluid, and this is just a random spark plug wire, so if anybody goes down and is missing and because they burnt one or something like that, I have one on hand. Multiple sizes of hose clamps, very good to have. Of course, duct tape fixes anything. Electrical tape. This is two different sizes of zip ties. Got a bundle and then some very long ones here. electrical connections of all different sizes, or electrical crimps, and different size fuses. This is just a random length of wire in case somebody gets something snagged or burns through. We can cut the bad section out and put in a new section of wire. This little guy here actually is, I learned this from somebody else, just a small piece of PVC pipe, but if you blow a radiator hose, you can cut the bad section out, put it back together, clamp it down, and at least get through the rest of your day. Rubber mallet. I keep a hatchet on me instead of a hammer because I can use the back side as a hammer, front side as a hatchet if I need the hatchet for anything. Pipe wrench. I have found this good for a multitude of things, including being able to turn a bent drag link or tie rod. Large set of channel locks, where I went over some other size pliers. Ratchet straps. Keep at least 2 on me. They're great for if you break an axle and you can need to put a log over your tire and strap your tire in to keep your axle from coming out. Also, or break a transmission mount, anything. I mean, you know, you never know what's going to happen out there. Keep an air compressor with me. I don't have onboard air, but this is a great little air compressor. You know, most places will actually have air fill stations in them, but if you're really out in the wilderness, you know, you might be off-roading in a state park that doesn't have air fill in it. My favorite tool that I keep with me every time we go out is my 1/2-inch cordless impact on it. This thing's a lifesaver. And then here, I've just got a bunch of different size rubber hose. These are hydraulic line rated also though, because I have an automatic transmission. If I break a transmission line, at least I can put one of these in there, clamp it down, and make it back to my trailer. And let's see. Lastly, set of jumper cables. Always nice to have a set of jumper cables on you. I also carry a little folding army shovel everywhere I go. This stays in the Jeep anyway though, just because we drive on the beach and they require you to have that on the beach. So, now, seems like a lot of stuff. I'm going to go ahead and get everything packed into my Jeep and then show you how I store everything so I can safely go wheel without it flying around. Okay, so this is my 2007 Jeep JKU. As you can see, I've done a spare tire delete. When I do go off-roading, my spare tire happens to fit behind my passenger seat, and then I built a deck on top of it. I've got my bottle jack here. I've got my recovery gear on this side of it. This is my trail box here with the rest of my tools in it, strapped down, and then I keep some anywhere seats with me. My spare tire itself is strapped down to the body, and then this shelf is strapped down to the spare tire, so nothing can lift that way. That way, if something were to happen, say I were to roll, everything is secured and won't end up in the front seat with me. Another nice thing about the way this is set up, gives me some room in front also. Flip this down. I keep a tarp in here also. Laying on a tarp is much nicer than laying in the mud when you want to go fix something out on the trail. On this side, if you flip the seats down, is where I have my jumper cables too. So, and I have a little bit more storage if I do need it. I also always keep a pair of muck boots with me. I found in the springtime that they're really nice to have out on the trail. Alright everybody, well, that's what I take with me when I go four-wheel driving. I'd love to hear what you take with you. What are your must-have tools? What have you learned you can live without taking? What do you divide up? Maybe some friends take something, some friends take something else with them. Again, this is John from Jeep Budget Build, and check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Thank you.